Good afternoon, guys. For today's topic, we will be talking about time management. We all know that at some point we are struggling to keep up with the deadlines and making use of our time. There are many distractions, especially in our current setup in our online classes. Next. Our learning objectives is to understand what is time management. It is essential to know really what is time management and why do we need it. Second is to identify the main obstacles in time management in our daily lives. We will get to know what are the time consumers and wasters that are unnecessary that makes us unproductive. And lastly, understand the benefits of having time management. We will see the benefits of applying time management into our daily lives. Next. So to start off this presentation, we have some quotes here. Time management is life management by Robin Sharma. So learning how to make every day count for something is the objective here. It takes getting rid of procrastination and a great self-discipline. When time is managed wisely, it minimizes the stress and improves the overall quality of your life. Time management is a lifestyle that you need to adapt and practice each and every day of your life. It's a matter of getting used to. You have to practice it every time and every day. Here's the second quote. Time is free, but it's priceless. It means that you cannot buy time anymore. You can't own it because time passes by, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. So you must spend it wisely. Once you've lost it, you can never get it back. So do not dwell on the past and start to move on and have a greater quality of life. Because some people keeps on remembering their past. When you tend to talk about your past more often, it affects your present and your future because you are not moving on. So it will affect your work and your self esteem because of your past. So it's a matter of choice. If you choose to work hard today, then when you reach the age of 40s, the money will work for you, if you get what I mean. And or you can choose to be lazy today, then suffer later on in your life and realize how many years you've wasted chilling and goofing around, talking about your past. And then at some point in our life, we will have a wake up call and realize that we are wasting so much time. Some people realize when it's too late, when they're too old, and they just always talks about their past. So that's very useless. Next, please. Time management is a finite source, meaning you don't have every time the time in this world. It is the time is always moving. As I've said earlier, no matter what, you're always left with the same 24 hours a day to check items of to do lists and spend time with friends and family and unwind. You cannot hold the time and use it for later, but you can spend it, work, and use the time wisely. Next. So good time management enables you to work smarter, not harder, so that you get more done in less time, even when the time is tight and pressures are high. We have to work smarter, not harder, because the key to a greater productivity and bigger results is to work smarter, not harder. Working smarter, not harder means having a clear strategy, a clear plan to prioritize your most important activities. Let's say in my case, if I have deadlines this day, I will start off with the easiest ones in the activity list that I have. Then I will move on with the harder ones until I finish those activities. And yeah, so prioritize your most important activities. So you end each productive day feeling satisfied rather than overwhelmed and overcommitted. And also, we sometimes feel frustrated and overworked if you do not work smart, as they say. Next. So time management is the process of planning, exercising conscious control of time spent on specific activities. So the time management is really the amount of time that you spend on each activities. For me, I suggest that you do a to-do list so you don't forget your your chores or maybe your work for the day, and plan it ahead. So I am Hans Canizares from BSIT. Uh, the next speaker would be Mr. Jalen Nogoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hans, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jalen Nagoy. So first of all, I appreciate your interest in exploring the opportunities in the lockdown by joining our online session. So let's start. What time objectives of time management. So the purpose of time management is to maximize the amount of time you spend on certain activities that help you reach your goals more quickly. The advantage of time management allow you to spend less time on unnecessary and more time on vital tasks. Effective time management allows you to attain higher levels of performance and productivity. When you work smarter rather than harder, you get better outcomes in less time and with less effort. Working smarter allows you to get more done and reach your objectives more quickly. Next. Make time productive. Spend every second in an efficient and productive way. Because if you fail to use the day's time, the loss is yours. So make time is not about completing your to-do list, optimizing every hour, or increasing your personality productivity. It is about rethinking the defaults of perpetual work and distraction so that you can focus on what is important every day. Next. Treat time as commodity. Time is the most precious things we have. Time is perishable. You cannot turn back the time. The most valuable commodity is time. You can purchase more since they are so valuable. It can never be replaced once it has been depleted. Time is another item that is frequently squandered by humans. Next. You are the creator of your destiny. Destiny is not matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. It is not a thing to be waited for, it is a thing to be achieved. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Take a stand, be brave, and be strong. Take full responsibility for your actions and recognize that you are the architect of your own destiny. You have all the power and support you need within yourself. We are accountable for who we are, and we have the ability to shape ourselves into whatever we want to be. If we are what we are now as a result of our own previous activities, it follows that anything we want to be in the future may be generated by our actions. Thus we must know how to behave. Next, setting your goal and priorities. Number one, create your list. Number two, determine necessary over non-necessary tasks. Number three, don't overwhelm yourself. Number four, be willing to promise. Number five, assess your most productive days of the week. Number six, tackle the hardest task first. Number seven, recognize prioritizing will become a skill set. So, what is goal and priority settings? First, let's make sure we're all the same page about what goal setting is. Simply explain, goal setting is the act of selecting or developing a goal that you want to attain. It involves determining where you are now and where you want to go in the future. However, successful goal setting entails more than just establishing a target. If that if that's all you do, reaching your goals will be far more difficult. Anyone may anyone may claim to desire to publish a best-selling book or develop a game that will alter the world. Making it happen is very different story. The process of consciously selecting what you want to achieve and then taking precise activities to reach that objective is known as goal setting. Effective goal planning necessitates and development of quantifiable objective as well as time range to assist direct your efforts. Next. The law of priorities. Your ability to set clear and accurate priorities on your time determines an entire quality of your life. To achieve great things, you must always concentrate in the small number of activities that contributes and greatest values to your life and work. So, in leadership, learn the law of priorities from John Maxwell book, the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. Leaders understand that action is not necessarily accomplishment. John, the rule of priority simply tells us that activity is not always accomplishment. A wise leader recognizes that this law governs our performances. It is not about being busy. It is about achieving results. And it's similar to building a home. You can start laying the blocks until the foundation has settled. When making or serving supper at a restaurant, you cannot offer dessert before the main meal. You see, no one can escape the priority law. You must know what to do first. Being busy does not always result in productive outcomes. I'm Jayden Ibernagoy. The next speaker is Vince Siganya.
Thank you for that, Mr. Nogoy. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vince Ferdinand Sekenya. Next slide, please. Uh, okay, let's start. Example of time consumers or wasters: procrastination, daydreaming, hanging out, social media, unnecessary task. Avoid this kind of actions. If you have free time, think about first what can you do in that time. But it's okay to relax and enjoy and give yourself a reward. If you do a great job in school or work, we need to set. But first, we need to set a priority of to manage that time wisely. Next slide, please. Um, procrastination Procrastination is a major time consumer because it prevents you from doing the things that must be done already. Example of procrastination is repeatedly putting off a homework assignment until the night before it's due. Another example is you always say that you will exercise but delaying it while telling yourself that you'll start sometime in the near future. The if we to understand procrastination easily, in Filipino, we always say bukas na lang o ganon. So we must avoid it. Next slide. What are your goals? Make sure your goals are specific and concrete. Set deadlines for your goals. Change goals if needed. Why do we need to know our goals or dream profession? Because it helps us to motivate ourselves to do better in school or work. It gives us this push to achieve anything that we want. Next slide, please. Concentrate and focus on the material. Beware of distractions, talking, daydreaming, and doodling, worrying. Avoid distractions or any unnecessary thoughts about your future. Instead of worrying, think about what can you do today. For example, exercising, finish your schoolworks, start an online business, and many more. If we focus in our present, we can create a path to success. Next slide. To-do list. Make a to-do list each day to remind you of what you have to do each day. Prioritize each item on the list, labeling the most important items. Be sure to start with the A's so that you complete the most important item first. Go onto your B's and C's only if you find you have the time. Organizing your tasks with a list can make everything much more manageable and make you feel composed. Seeing a clear outline of your to-do list makes you feel more comfortable and 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 uncompleted tasks will help you feel organized and mentally focused. Next slide. Yeah. Scheduling yourself. You don't find time for important things, you make it. Everything you do is an opportunity cost. Learn to say no. Always remember that scheduling ourselves is important. It's important to plan our activities so that we can achieve our goals and priorities in the time we are available. Um, Thank you for that. The next speaker should be Mr. Clark Fernandez.
Hi everyone and good afternoon. Before we proceed to our next slides, I'm Luis Clark Fernandez from BSIT. Okay lang po ba? Rinig naman yung boses ko. Sagot naman yung mga audience natin.
Ano nga?
How to use time effectively. Get started immediately on important tasks. Starting your day with your important tasks gives you certain that can you get it done without being distracted by other things or people. The morning time is seemingly always your, and it's not then you can adjust. It's by waking up earlier to make time is yours. Reduce meeting time. Take time to plan. Planning your day can you help accomplish more and feel more in control of your life. For example, keep to-do list the most important tasks at the top. Keep a schedule of your daily activities to minimize conflicts and last-minute rushes. And if you're a night person, at the end of each day, plan your following day. If you're morning person, plan the day ahead as you're getting started. Learn to say no. Considering your schedule before agree to take an additional allows you to say yes to a ton of other things that you can really care about, such as schoolworks. If you show others that you are valuable, your schoolwork, your time, and your priorities, they will respect your decision. Remember that now is the time to pull it all together. Good time management allow you accomplish bigger result in shorter period of time, which leads to more time freedom, helps you focus better, allows you to be more productive, and lower your stress. Next slide. Finding balance. Find balance between academic schedule, social life, time alone. Trying to strike a balance between academics, social life, and alone time to balance or time manage your time with these three as a student, you will need to devote a significant amount of time to your academic program, complete homework, project, and other assignments as soon as possible. Your social life will begin when you have completed your academic. Because you finished your academic earlier, you can spend the remainder of your time in social life. Of course, you can spend your social life, but maybe you need to be alone first or do your personal work first. You're in charge of your own time. Next slide, please.
Yan ba yun, pre?
Ah, time management tips. Writing downs. Don't rely on memory. Writing downs is able a higher level of thinking and therefore more focused action. For this reason, writing things down can help our brains prioritize which we should focus on and act at any given moment. Prioritize your list. By prioritizing your list, you can make sure that your tasks are written down all in one place so you don't forget anything important. And by prioritizing tasks, you plan the order in which you do them so that you can tell what is need your immediate attention and what can you leave until later. Plan your week. Spend some time at the beginning of each week to plan your schedule. Planning your week is important as it helps in making sure that the time you have been spent in the most efficient way. It will also allow you to really relax how much you can get done in the amount of time you have. Carrying a notebook. Carrying a notebook will remind you when those items that are listed in planning notebook are done. It keeps your schedule so you know how much time you have each day. So if you desire to accomplish more each the daily planning notebook, it is for you. Learn to say no. Say no to low priorities requests. This able to manage your better time, not overwhelm yourself, taking too much on be productive and stay healthy. Next slide, please. Evaluate how you spend your time. Look for time that can be used more wisely. When you are waiting somewhere, you don't need to just sit there with nothing to do. Always take something although to do, such as a report you need to read, a checkbook that needs to be balanced, notes you need to review or rewrite, just blank pad of paper that you can use to plan to make to-do lists, organize your thoughts and assignments, or shopping lists. Next slide. Take care of yourself. Get plenty of quality sleep. Maintain a healthy diet, exercise regularly, and healthy lifestyle improve your focus and concentration. Improve your efficiency so complete your work in less time. Avoid illness and stay well so you can be better, best. Take care of yourself. It is easier to get things done when you're healthy. Sleep, rest, and taking breaks will improve your focus and concentration, enabling you complete your work more efficiently. Next slide. Take a break. When you need a break, take one. Take a walk and then get back to your work. Do some quick stretches at your workstation and then get back to work. Take a 10-minute vacation and then get back to work. Take a mental health day to rest and re-energize, but plan it effectively. Take a break. Studies have found that breaks can reduce or prevent stress. This can let you address those distractions and then refocus your energy on the more important task. And this is the end of our presentation. Next slide. This is our reference.
So that is the last part of our presentation. The last part, we will have a question and answer where we get to be asked and then we will ask some questions. So yeah, let's start.
Okay, question number 1. How do you manage deadlines? Anyone from the audience?
Okay, Tol.
May I speak?
Yes, Olanda.
Well, as for my own experience, guys, I prepare outlines for my activities. Therefore, I can do whatever activity that is on the line. I give them balanced time allotment and I give myself break intervals so that my mind can function well. And if I am put in a critical time situation, I seek help to someone else or I look templates on the internet so that I can make full use of the little time that I have. So, yun nga mga pre. Kapag
That's
ako
a very good advice and technique.
Yeah. Totoo naman talaga. Kasi this final syempre maraming activities yung nagpa-flood sa natin sa schedules natin. We have very little amount of time na ma-use natin for every subjects. And the least that we can do is that makipagtulungan tayo kasi yun na lang yung tanging paraan para ma-shorten natin yung napakaikling oras na meron tayo. Sabi ko nga dito, I seek help to someone or I look templates on the internet. Nakakatulong din kasi aminin natin, di ba? Halos lahat ng mga programs natin is inspired by Google, di ba? Tapos kapag nakakita tayo ng mga templates na katulad ng sa Google, kinakopy natin siya or minomodify natin siya para at least we can perform dry runs kapag may performance tayo na kailangan gawin sa live kagaya nito, webinars, ganyan. And then the very least that I can do is that give mental break to yourself. Kasi pag ako puyat ako, talagang nagnanap ako, nagtitake ako ng nap. Kahit mga miskin mga siguro mga 20 minutes ganun. Kasi kapag tuloy-tuloy yung trabaho mo, tumatakbo yung ano mo, yung utak mo, madadry ka talaga eh. Madadrain yung yung energy mo. So kailangan mo talaga ng break intervals para mag-continue yung mo, performance mo. So yun lang mga guys.
Thank you for wonderful answer,
Thank you,
Mr.
thank you.
Olanda. Mabuti nga, tama yun. Kailangan mo talaga magpahinga para
Very,
mag-function
very
yung utak mo
concise
na maayos.
answer. Tama.
How about you,
Next
Mr. Javen Magnares?
Ganito, sir. Minamanage ko yung deadlines ko siguro sa paggawa agad ng maaga. Para hindi ako matambakan, nagagawa ko siya ng maayos, sabay. Pagkatapos ko ng isa, pahinga ng konti. Gawain ulit yung isa para hindi ako nagkakram sa mga deadlines or hindi ako naghahabol. Yun lang.
Yes.
Medyo same
Very
sila
good.
ng sagot ni
Thank you, thank
Thank you for your answer.
Ganda, galing sagot.
How about you, Mr. Aldous? May masashare ka ba sa amin?
Ang ginagawa ko pag mas napapadali kasi ako sa sa pag mga last day na ganun kasi
Nape-pressure.
bilis nagawa mo agad. Hindi katulad ng marami ko pa naiisip pag mahaba pa deadline, di ba?
Kanya-kanya naman.
Ayun lang. Salamat.
Which way or another, basta nami-meet mo yung deadline. Diba? Any other questions?
Pero mas maganda pa rin kung magawa pa din ng
Oo, syempre. Para mas marami kang time.
Procrastinator yung ginagawa
Yes.
ni Sir Aldous.
Yes.
Pero okay pa din naman. Kung ganun siya mag-time management, at least nagagawa pa din.
Baka may questions yung mga audience natin sa atin. Guys.
Well, I have another one, sir. Well, my question, sir, is how do you limit distractions?
I guess I can answer that question. I limit my distractions by setting a to-do list. We mentioned it in our presentation. Every day and spend my time wisely. Ginagawa ko yung deadline ko na maaga nga para hindi nga matambakan. So that I can maximize my time. Pwede ako magpahinga pagkatapos ko gumawa lahat ng activities sa school. At hindi rin ako mahihirapan sa mga deadline. Yun lang. Thank you.
Pagkaparehas kami ni Vince, I always do my activities earlier than expected because if I go out, let's say I play or whatever, I ride, parang ang hirap na may iniisip habang 'di ba? Hindi ka you cannot enjoy the moment because you have a deadline that you must do. Pero nasa labas ka, parang hindi nakaka-enjoy. Mas maganda yung tapos muna, tsaka mag-enjoy.
Well, tama. Agree kami dyan, sir.
Yes. Ikaw, paano? How do you,
Para sa akin,
answer? Yes.
para dyan sa tanong na how do you limit
Yes.
distractions? Para sa akin, distraction din kasi yung yung kunyari, meron ka major subject, tapos yung ibang subjects na nangungulit. Well, syempre, dapat focus ka muna dun sa, mo,
Oo, tama.
dun sa major mo. Pero kung, halimbawa, yung grade mo is mababa talaga dun sa iba, andun yung critical decision na kailangan mong gawin. Based on my own experience kasi, may mga, yung tinatawag na alanganin na subject, pero kailangan mong isacrifice yung kahit pa yung major subjects mo.
So, parang balance lang, no?
Oo, parang ibig sabihin ko dito ay choose the distractions that distracts you. Kumbaga, sacrifice whatever category is that. Kumbaga, kung ito yung mataas na grade mo, magparaya ka muna. Gawin mo muna siyang parang distraction kasi kapag nakapokus ka lang sa isang bagay, kumbaga parang yun lang ang mapapaganda na grade mo. Kumbaga, maiaalis mo, matitake for granted mo yung iba na inaakala mo na hindi naman threat sa grade mo. Parang ganun lang. So, dapat balance lang. Yun lang.
Oh, yes, agree, I agree. Agree ba kayo?
Tama
Agree ako.
yung sinabi ni
So,
Ako sa puso.
yes. So,
Ako sa
siguro
puso.
guys, last question na. Mr. Dogoy,
Okay.
any
Um,
inputs?
I have a questions.
Yes, yes.
How do you balance school and personal life?
Siguro para sa akin 50-50. 50 sa school, 50 sa personal life. Kasi pagka sumobra ka naman sa sa school, masyadong may stress, madidepress ka ganun. Siguro sa personal life naman, pag nasobra ka naman sa school, ay sa personal life, siguro tatamarin ka naman sa school. Ganun. Para sa akin, ganun. Ayun.
Okay, so I think that's enough for the question and answer. So meron tayong survey, guys, sa mga audience natin. Vince, Mr. Sikenya, pakilagay naman dito yung survey link para ma-answeran nila.
Ay, nandyan na.
Yes,
Okay
ito
na
na pala.
guys, pa-check na lang po ng chat box.
Paki-check na lang po. So that's the end of our webinar presentation about time management for students. Again, I am Hans Canizares.
I'm
And,
Luis Pedro Fernandez.
And I'm Jalen Ibernagay.
And I'm Vince Ferdinand de Kenya.
So we would like to thank our audience for today, Mr. Christian Olanda, Mr. Javen Magnares, and Sir Aldous. Thank you for getting us an opportunity to present to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank you
you.
guys.
Thank you.